What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on whenever you're tuning into this video. My name is EQ. Welcome to EQ Trades. Now today I wanted to go over what I see in the crypto market and as well as what I'm looking at on the Bitcoin chart going into this week. And I am based in Florida, so I wanted to make sure that I got a lot of these videos out before the hurricanes started hitting. Supposedly they're going to be stacking this week too, which is going to be fun. So let's take a little dive into the crypto market. This is going to be the crypto dashboard from the EPIQ trading floor. This is available for free for anyone to use. You can see the link up here, EPIQ trading floor / crypto dashboard. It's also available on the side menu if you go to epictradingfloor.com. Now, right off the bat, we can see on the daily, Bitcoin is showing a strong buy. Ethereum, however, on the daily is showing a sell signal, and the total market cap as a whole is going to be showing a buy signal as well. Now, all of these are interchangeable too, so I can see on the weekly, Bitcoin is actually sitting on a buy signal, and then on the monthly, it's going to be sitting buy. Ethereum is going to be showing sell on the weekly, and it's going to be showing more of a neutral position on the monthly. And then we could see a buy signal on the weekly total as well as on the monthly total. This will tell me that the likelihood of us moving sideways, basically, if you look down here, what we've been doing on the long term since February, just moving down inside, will continue. Now, me personally, I'm waiting until we kind of pass the election time because that's going to clear up some of that uncertainty and doubt, and specifically the fear involved with not knowing who's going to be the candidate chosen. And you can see if you're looking at the latest news from today, a lot of it is going to be macro news. So talking about how panic buying in Chinese stocks, money out of crypto in China, $507 billion Middle Eastern giant adopts Bitcoin. So you can see it's more of a macro scale in terms of what they're releasing in terms of news today, which is definitely important to keep in mind. Every time I look at the news, I'm trying to figure out what they want us to get out of it. Because at the end of the day, it's always the multi-million or billion-dollar companies that are paying for this news to come out. So there's always a narrative behind it that they want the public to feel. So I always try to take into consideration that outlook when I'm looking at the news, which again, right now is looking pretty up the middle. Which again, right now is looking pretty 50-50. You can see money out of crypto in China, but then the Middle East is coming in. So which direction are we actually moving? If we drop down a little bit more, we can see the crypto macro heat maps right now. The way that these are positioned, it's going to be in volume in 24 hour. This is how I have it set standard. So obviously, if you're looking at this, Chainlink is going to have a bigger market cap than whatever this is, Nero FUSD. If you flip this to market cap, it'll give you that actual view of project by project based on market cap. I personally just like to look at volume though. And so you can see even on the daily, the majority of the market in terms of volume has been trading majority green, but pretty 50-50. When you get into the weekly, it's definitely red. So the potential for upside in the medium term, or at least swinging to maybe test another range high, which we'll look at on the Bitcoin chart in just a second. The probability of that is relatively high. And on the monthly, we're looking pretty green. So on the long term, if we're looking at this through November, there's definitely downside potential and downside play that we could see, not just from volume, but as a market cap in total and how these projects are still performing on the monthly. And another thing to keep in mind, on October 10th, so 3 days from now, is going to be the core CPI. These are usually pretty big macro events for the United States as well. And it's going to affect the stock market, which, if you've noticed recently in the last couple of months, has been correlating pretty strongly with Bitcoin price, primarily because of the institutional money that's flowing into crypto. And then beyond that, there's not too much news that's going to be coming out until October 17th. So that's a good thing to see from a macro perspective. I'm going to drop this down to the 4 hour. We can see that we were trading within this falling wedge. This is something that we were watching within the EPIQ trading floor and talking about taking profit at TP1 at about 61.9 for this position, which would have been essentially the local range high for this falling wedge. And this has made a really strong play on the 4 hour chart. You can see that volume has held bullish. So anything over the zero is going to be relatively bullish, and then it is inflowing at the moment, which is double bullish. Now, something to keep in note in this position, if you use a bearish Fibonacci, the bearish Fibonacci for this is going to be from the start of the move, which would be the top, to the end of the move, which is the bottom. You can see that we are just starting to tap into the 6180, into the 7860. Even if I range this to the very top to add extra liquidity, we're still testing within the EPIQ golden pocket, which is a great place for retracement. So if price wanted to start to show weakness at around the 64 to 65K range, the downside of this is that price could swing down theoretically into the 58 to 53K range, which would be great long term because we do have this downtrending resistance, previously a downtrending resistance that we were following basically from June or July. You can see of a test of a resistance, we broke over this. Now I want to see this test as support so we can confirm long term that this is actually an SR flip or a support resistance flip, which would therefore move us and confirm trend that we could definitely get into an impulse move getting into the back end of this year and into 2025. See this previous local high that was being tested before at about 64K, which was once a resistance. We did impulse and break that. So we did create a local higher high in comparison of this previous test. But now we're starting to show a little bit of weakness and resistance in this zone, which Ironically enough, if we put a rectangle here and we were talking about that golden pocket zone, the epic golden pocket, this little volatility zone is going to fall right within that epic golden pocket. And we've seen previously that when we had a resistance here, we were able to sell off from about 65 to 64K all the way down to about 52.5K. So although people are going very hyper bullish in the market, I just want to tread lightly and let you know that there is definitely a lot of weakness in the market as well. Now, it's great to see that the 4 hours in a bullish crossover, that's always a good thing to see. And when we're getting into the 1 hour, the 1 hour is actually starting to show bearish crossover potential. We're starting to see that double top, technically a higher high. But at the same time, if you zoom into the MACD, you can see the MACD is creating lower highs. That could be the sign of a regular bearish divergence, or at least the first signs of a regular bearish divergence. Now, on the hourly, there's still a lot of inflow of volume on Bitcoin, so its ability and probability to continue to at least play up and maybe retest this resistance one more time or create higher highs is definitely high in this situation. But while it isn't a bearish crossover, that means that most of this price action in the zone has a very high probability of a bearish fake out eventually. Now, if you're interested in learning how to trade, I would highly suggest going to the EPIQ trading floor. If you go to the homepage, you'll be able to learn more about exactly what we offer in terms of our buy and sell signals, our academy, our private trading community, and you'll be able to get access to the 3-day free trial. When you go through this process and you start the free trial, then you'll get access to the course, you'll get access to the dashboards and the trading floors and everything else that's included. Now, this is the best way to jump and excel yourself from a 0 to 100 trader. Even the academy will help walk you through everything from lingo and language all the way to trading divergences. There's over 82 lessons. I revamped this entire academy. It was previously available on Udemy, and it has currently 500 students with a 5-star rating. This version of the academy is even better than that version, and it's available only on the EPIQ trading floor. And then on top of that, when you do grab the 3-day trial, you'll also get access to the mobile app, which is available on iOS and Android. So this is going to wrap up this video on the crypto market and what I see going into this next week. If you want to see the positions I'm in, or if you want to stay up to date with the trades, make sure to join the EPIQ trading floor and hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate all of you for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on whenever you tune in, and I'll see you on the next one.